Hello everybody and welcome to Commercial Truck Training. This is the latest edition of Coach's Corner. We have something totally different.
Yeah, definitely.
We've never even kind of broached this even kind of format or topic or anything like that before. And it's based off of a report from KPMG. Don't expect anybody really to be able to read it, but tell us a little bit about this kind of on the surface, and then we'll get into some of the details.
Yeah, it's a real fascinating report, and it really backs up well everything that we've been talking about for years. I keep talking, whether I speak at conventions or breakout sessions, about the dramatic changes that are happening as we speak in the automotive industry. And this report really highlights that. We're finding we've had a couple of record years on the consumer side in the past few years, but that's dwindling very, very quickly. You'll notice too, Ford's already said they're going to stop making passenger cars. They're going to go to SUVs and above. General Motors is moving in the same direction. General Motors particularly has an initiative for self-driving cars and for cars that are totally electric. So that's happening as we speak. It's interesting that we look at one other area too that most people don't even consider, Will, and that is the fact that in the millennial generation, many of them have figured out it's more economical to not own a vehicle than to own one. They're using the driver services. Now there are more shared services coming on board. In fact, even with the self-driving cars, they're talking about a car. You order a car online, it comes up, pulls up to your door. There's nobody in it. You put in where you're going, and that self-driving car takes you there. So they're even eliminating paying taxi drivers. So the era of people not needing the automobile is fast approaching as far as owning their own vehicle. Where does that put commercial and fleet? Well, the good news. It puts it in a better position than ever before. We're finding out there are no real predictions on that side that it's going to demise. If anything, the need for commercial vehicles is going to be increasing because of people not having their own vehicles.
This report is entitled, "Will This Be the End of Car Dealerships as We Know Them?" And there's no mention of commercial and fleet in there, is there?
There's not, and the report was exclusively written for the retail consumer side of the business. But looking at what we know about the business, here's what's kind of interesting. I was recently speaking at a large meeting, and I asked a very simple question. What do the following have in common? Cars.com, TruCars.com, Carvana, CarGurus, and now the new one on the airways, Vroom.
When I walked in this morning, a Vroom commercial was playing.
It's crazy. What are they pushing? That you no longer have to do that odious thing that you really don't want to do, and that's go to a dealership. There have been a lot of surveys out that people just really prefer not to do that if at all possible. So it's this online phenomenon that Amazon really started. And think about it, the things we get on Amazon now that we would have gone to a store to do. I don't buy books at a bookstores anymore.
No, God no.
100% ordered on Amazon. Before I do anything, I look at what's on Amazon, and then I know within a day or two I'm going to get it. So more and more they're taking the convenience, and they're kind of bypassing a lot of traditional things.
The direct-to-consumer model.
So convenience is the word of the day. It's going to be dramatically affecting dealerships, because when I asked that question, what do all these have in common, I gave those names out. A gentleman stood up, and he was a dealer principal, and all he did was do this. He said, "That's my profit margin, my upfront gross, going to nothing." I got challenged by someone who said, "Well, aren't Commercial Truck Trader and Work Truck Solutions the same as CarGurus, Cars.com, TruCars.com on the commercial side?" My answer was no, it's just the opposite. Think about this. You have a very unique upfit. Let's say it's a utility body with a crane. That's really unique. Not many dealerships have those. Someone is on Commercial Truck Trader 800 miles away and they find your utility body with a crane,
Right.
and they call and say, I have to have this truck.
Right. Or in the extended network and Work Truck Solutions too, just as a comparison.
Work Truck
thing,
Solutions, same thing. So, are you going to be able to sell that for more or less? And the answer is pretty obvious. Up. It's the basics of the economic law of supply and demand.
Right.
If they can't find it and they have to go 800 miles away, they're going to pay a lot more for it. So those kind of services are actually helping to increase the gross profit for dealerships.
Right.
That brings us to the real question. Why aren't more dealerships in fleet and commercial?
Yeah. What'd you say the stat was? You told me the other day when we were talking about
less
this.
than 6%.
6% of the
all
total
dealerships.
vehicle dealerships in the country. That brings in brands, obviously, that don't do commercial at all. but still.
Exactly. So if you're on the retail side, you're competing against Hyundai, you're competing against
Volkswagen,
Honda,
yeah.
you're competing against Volkswagen, you're competing against all these other brands that aren't heavily involved
Right.
in commercial. So you've got a lot of work to do and you've got a lot more competition. Now we take most of the car brands out of the equation that don't even sell commercial. And with the ones that are remaining, there's still only about 10 to 12% that are involved in commercial.
Yeah.
So you're even eliminating other dealerships with your same brand that believe, and they really believe this, Will, and I've heard them say it, well, there's just no money in commercial and fleet, and what they don't understand, there's more money. And it's getting, the gap is getting wider. So not to be in fleet and commercial in today's world is ignoring the future of the industry.
Yeah.
It's ignoring the profit that you could be making, and it's ignoring an area of the dealership that is more and more becoming the most profitable. And the beauty of having a fleet and commercial department that people don't even think about, Will, is the retail spinoffs. Think about this. You just acquired a company that has 40 vehicles. We know there's a multiple effect of that. If they've got 40 vehicles, they probably have 40 drivers.
Yeah.
They also have to have support in the back office, and usually we can take about a number of 30% of the drivers, and that'll give us the back office number. So that 40 becomes 50, 55, and guess what? They don't drive work trucks.
No.
They drive consumer vehicles. So now we get another opportunity to add to our consumer side. And the dealerships that are very, very good at it and have really built up their consumer connection to the work truck side are selling more consumer vehicles than ever before.
Right.
So there's so many reasons to be in fleet commercial. More profit, spin-off sales, and less competition. So look at all those three. I love those odds.
Yes.
Think about it. Works for me.
Win, win, win. Yeah. Absolutely.
So as you're going forward, and if you're listening to this and you're not heavily involved in commercial, start thinking about it,
Yes.
or you're going to be left behind. There might be other brands that you've got that you can also do the cross-selling through your commercial department. So a lot of opportunity, and it's only going to get worse on the consumer side because of all these services, the consolidation of dealerships, and it's only going to get better on the commercial side and the fleet side. Both will. I mean, they have to have work trucks. So it's only going to get an increase, and the American population continues to rise. So there's going to be more need for commercial vehicles and commercial trucks and commercial vans. So that's our main message for today.
Yeah. If you would like a copy of this report, get in touch with us in the comments section wherever you're watching this, or if you get it on the truck stop, email us. Let us know, and we'll send you a digital copy of it, because it's a pretty fascinating read. It's a pretty easy read to get through as well. So,
Absolutely, it is.
anything else? Any closing remarks?
One, go out and sell some trucks and vans.
I like it.
And call us. If you want to get started in this business, that's what we do.
Right.
We can show you the right way. Over and over and over, Will, we get this message, and the phone rings, someone calls, and they give me the same story. And the story is, we tried this and it didn't work. How do we do it right? And that is the question of the day. That's why we're here. And we're one of the only companies that can show you how. So let us help you like we've helped hundreds of dealerships increase the profitability of your dealership. And that's the message for today.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
Take care.